The starship Aurora broke through the clouds of a green world, its silver body shining in the light of a distant sun. The planet was unnamed on the charts, known only as X-47. From orbit, it looked peaceful. Rivers cut across wide valleys, and jungles stretched like endless seas of trees. Inside the ship, the exploration crew gathered at the viewing glass. Myra, the leader, stood in front. She was not the tallest or the strongest, but her eyes carried a calm focus that steadied the others. The crew trusted her because she listened and because she always moved forward no matter the risk. With Myra stood Arun, a skilled pilot with a quiet voice. Beside him was Lena, a scientist who carried a tablet everywhere. The others Jory, Daniel, and Hannah watched with wide eyes, eager to step on a new world. Surface scans show structures, Lena said as she tapped on her tablet. Old stone, arranged in patterns. Could be ruins. The jungle swallowed most of it, but something remained standing. Myra's gaze stayed on the planet. Prepare to land near those structures. If they are ruins, then this world once carried life. That means there are stories here waiting to be found. The Aurora descended into the thick atmosphere. Turbulence shook the ship as clouds pressed against the hull. Moments later, the ground came into view. Giant trees rose like towers, their roots as wide as rivers. Vines hung like curtains, and colorful birds darted between branches. The air shimmered with humidity. The landing site was a wide clearing beside a broken stone path. The stones were worn smooth, yet their arrangement suggested purpose. Myra stepped onto the soil first. The air was heavy, filled with scents of moss and flowers. She took a breath and raised her hand to the crew. Stay close. Let us find the source of these ruins. They followed the stone path, moving deeper into the jungle. The farther they walked, the clearer the signs of an old civilization became. Walls stood half buried under roots. Carvings marked fallen pillars. Time had broken much, but the shapes still spoke of builders with vision. Jory, the youngest in the group, touched one of the carvings with wonder. Do you think they were like us? Lena answered while studying the markings. Different hands carved these lines. The symbols are not human, yet they hold meaning. Whoever lived here valued order and memory. The path curved, and soon the trees opened into a vast plaza of stone. In the center stood a golden figure, tall and radiant. It was an idol, carved in the shape of something not human yet vaguely familiar. Its body was long, its arms stretched upward as if calling to the sky. Every part of it gleamed with a soft light, even though no torch or sunbeam touched it directly. The crew froze. None spoke for a long moment. The idol commanded silence by its very presence. Finally, Hannah whispered, "It looks alive." Myra stepped forward carefully. She studied the base of the idol. The stone around it was blackened, as if fire had once burned here. The ground felt warmer than the jungle soil. She did not touch the idol, but she felt a faint vibration in the air, like the thrum of a hidden machine. "Record everything," Myra said. Lena raised her tablet and scanned the idol. Strange. The material is gold, but it is not ordinary. The density is too perfect, as though every atom was shaped by design. And the glow, this is no reflection. It generates light on its own. Arun circled the idol. It looks untouched by time. The jungle claimed the stones, yet this remains clean, shining, strong. It should not be possible. As they studied, Jory leaned closer, his eyes wide. It is beautiful. Almost welcoming. Myra's voice sharpened. Do not touch it. The team set up camp at the edge of the plaza. Tents unfolded, and instruments hummed to life. Yet even as they worked, the idol drew their attention again and again. At night, when the jungle darkened and the air filled with the songs of unseen creatures, the idol continued to glow like a beacon. Around the campfire, the crew spoke in low voices. It feels strange to sit so near it, Hannah said, hugging her knees. Like it watches us. Daniel nodded. When I look at it, I feel pressure in my chest. Not pain, but something heavy, as though it wants something from me. Lena frowned at her readings. No radiation. No sound. No measurable field. Yet we all feel it. That means it touches the mind, not the instruments. Myra listened quietly. She could not deny the truth. The idol was not simple. It was more than stone or metal. It carried intent. Later, when the others slept, Myra remained awake. She sat near the tent entrance, her eyes fixed on the golden figure. The glow painted the plaza in soft light, and shadows swayed with the jungle leaves. For a moment, Myra thought she heard something. Not sound, but a faint whisper inside her head. A call, distant and unclear. She shook her head, telling herself it was only the wind or her own tired mind. Still, she kept her hand on her journal, writing notes to steady her thoughts. In her writing, she made one clear line. The idol is not only a relic. It is something alive. It waits. When the night deepened, the jungle seemed to hold its breath. Even the insects grew silent. Myra felt the weight of the idol more than ever. She closed her eyes and forced herself to rest, though unease pressed against her mind. By morning, the crew would discover the first signs that this golden figure was not just a monument. It was a hunger hidden in metal, a presence that had waited for new visitors. And humanity had finally arrived. Morning arrived with a soft mist hanging over the jungle. The leaves sparkled with dew, and the air carried the songs of hidden birds. The crew of the Aurora gathered near the camp, stretching tired muscles after a restless night. The golden idol stood in the plaza as before, glowing with steady light, untouched by time or shadow. Myra handed out rations, but few ate. Each pair of eyes kept wandering to the idol, as if some invisible thread pulled their attention. Did anyone sleep? Myra asked. Not well, Hannah admitted. I dreamed of voices. They were far away, but they kept calling. I woke up more tired than before. Daniel rubbed his temples. Same for me. And my head still hurts. Like something pressing here. Lena frowned while checking her notes. Strange. No medical reason for these symptoms. Our air is clean, our water filtered. This is something else. Myra looked toward the idol. It started after we found it. The team decided to begin deeper scans of the plaza. Instruments were set around the idol to measure energy, gravity, and any unusual fields. Lena crouched beside a sensor, typing on her tablet. This is odd, she muttered. The readings spike when we look directly at it, then fall when we turn away. Arun raised an eyebrow. So it reacts to attention. It seems so, Lena replied. But how? Machines respond to touch, heat, or motion, not thought. While the others worked, Jory moved closer to the idol. His eyes were wide, shining with a mix of fear and fascination. He raised his hand as if to touch the glowing surface. Myra noticed at once and shouted, Jory, stop. The young explorer froze, his hand inches from the golden surface. His breathing quickened, as if breaking from a trance. He pulled back, pale and shaken. I didn't mean to, he whispered. It felt like it wanted me to. Like it was asking. Myra stepped between him and the idol. Stay away from it. We cannot trust what we do not understand. The warning was clear, but the unease did not fade. As the day went on, small accidents occurred. Tools fell from steady hands. A crate slipped and nearly crushed a scanner. A fire sparked in one tent despite no fuel nearby. Each time, the crew managed to fix the problem, but the pattern was unsettling. By evening, the crew gathered again near the campfire. The jungle's noises grew louder as the sun sank, but the idol's glow outshone the fading light. "This place is cursed," Daniel said, staring at the ground. "Everything was fine until we landed here." Lena shook her head. "Not cursed. Designed. The idol is not decoration. It has purpose. And I think its purpose is to influence." Hannah hugged her arms. "Influence us how?" "By pulling our focus, by reaching into our thoughts. Maybe even by feeding on our attention. I cannot explain yet, but every reading points to a link between us and it." Myra listened to each word, her face calm though her heart was heavy. She understood her crew's fear. She felt it too. Still, she would not let fear control them. "We are explorers," she said firmly. "We came to learn, not to run at the first shadow. If this idol holds danger, then we must face it and understand it. If it is only mystery, then we will solve it. Either way, we move forward together." The crew nodded, though unease still clung to their faces. Myra's steady voice gave them courage for the moment. Later that night, Myra kept watch outside her tent while the others slept. The plaza glowed softly, the idol standing tall like a silent guardian. She held her journal in her lap, writing notes by lantern light. Suddenly, a sharp cry broke the quiet. Myra leapt up and rushed toward the sound. She found Jory lying near the idol, his body shaking. His eyes were open wide, staring at nothing, his mouth whispering words too fast to understand. "Jory," Myra called, kneeling beside him. "Can you hear me?" The others ran from their tents, alarmed by the noise. Hannah gasped. Arun and Daniel held Jory still as his body trembled. Lena scanned him quickly. "No injuries. No poison. His mind is in distress, not his body." Jory's lips kept moving. Myra leaned closer to catch the words. They were not human words. Strange sounds rolled from his mouth, deep and sharp, as though carried from another tongue. Then, as suddenly as it began, the fit ended. Jory went still, breathing hard. His eyes blinked and focused on Myra's face. "What happened?" he asked weakly. "You walked to the idol," Myra said softly. "Then you collapsed." "I don't remember," Jory whispered. His voice carried fear. "The last thing I knew, I was dreaming again." The voices, they were closer this time. The crew carried him back to camp, laying him gently on a cot. He soon fell into restless sleep, his body calm but his face troubled. Silence settled among the crew. None spoke for a long time. Finally, Hannah said what all were thinking. "It is taking something from us." The words hung heavy in the night air. The jungle song seemed to fade, leaving only the glow of the idol. Myra looked at her crew, then at the golden figure that loomed over the plaza. Her jaw tightened. She felt the truth pressing on her heart. The idol was not just a relic. It was alive in some way, reaching into their minds, drawing from them. But what it wanted, and what it would take, remained unknown. Myra returned to her journal and wrote with firm hand. "The idol feeds on us. The question is how far it will go." As the fire crackled low and the mist thickened again, Myra sat awake under the idol's glow. She did not close her eyes. She would not allow herself to fall into dreams where whispers waited. The night stretched long. The golden idol stood silent, but its presence filled every shadow. And though no words were spoken, Myra felt one truth as clear as the rising fear in her chest. This was only the beginning. The next morning arrived heavy and gray. The mist lay thick over the jungle, and the sun fought to pierce the sky. The crew woke slowly, their faces pale, their eyes tired. The night had not been kind to them. Myra walked through the camp, checking on each member. Jory sat upright on his cot, awake but weak. His hands trembled slightly as he tried to drink from a cup. Hannah helped him, though her own eyes carried shadows from lack of sleep. "Did you dream again?" Myra asked gently. Jory nodded. "Yes." The voices were louder. They spoke in a language I did not know, but I understood the meaning. They said the idol is waiting. Waiting for us. The words sent unease through the group. Lena adjusted her tablet nervously. If this is true, then the idol is more than a machine. It interacts with our minds, not just our bodies. It reaches into thought itself. Arun crossed his arms. Then it is dangerous. Machines should not enter dreams. Myra agreed, but she knew they needed answers, not just fear. We will study it carefully. No one goes near it without my word. And no one touches it. We cannot afford another incident like last night. The crew set about their tasks, scanning and recording data from the plaza. Yet as the hours passed, an invisible weight pressed on all of them. The idol's glow never dimmed. Its golden surface shone as though it had been polished that morning. Daniel wiped sweat from his brow. "This heat feels worse today. My chest is heavy. I can hardly think straight." Hannah nodded. "It is the same for me. My head feels full, like thoughts that are not mine are crowding inside." Myra clenched her jaw. She felt it too. A faint murmur in her head, almost below the level of sound, like waves crashing far away. She forced herself to ignore it, focusing on the tasks at hand. By midday, something new happened. As Lena worked near the idol with her instruments, she froze suddenly. Her eyes widened, and her face went pale. She dropped her tablet, and it clattered against the stone. "Lena," Myra called sharply. "What is it?" Lena's lips moved slowly. "It spoke to me." The others gathered quickly, tension rising in their voices. "What did it say?" Hannah asked. Lena swallowed hard, her voice shaking. "Not with sound. In my mind. It told me that I could learn everything if I only listened. It promised answers to every question I ever had. It said I did not need to fear." Myra stepped closer and put a hand on her shoulder. "And did you listen?" Lena shook her head quickly. "No, I ran from it. But the words are still there, echoing. I cannot make them stop." The crew exchanged uneasy looks. The idol was not silent anymore. It was calling to them directly. That night, no one slept. Each member of the crew heard the whispers in their own way. For some, it came as promises. For others, it came as warnings. The idol spoke differently to each, shaping its words to their thoughts. Arun lay in his tent, staring at the ceiling. He heard a voice that told him he could protect everyone if he obeyed. Daniel heard the opposite, a voice that told him to leave at once before death came. Hannah heard cries for help, as though the idol held prisoners within. Lena heard a flood of knowledge, endless secrets ready to be shared. Myra too heard the whisper. It was softer for her, yet steady. It told her she was a leader, but she would fail unless she bowed to its guidance. She clenched her fists and refused to answer, holding her silence until the whisper faded like smoke. By morning, the crew sat together, silent and tired. No one touched their food. The air was thick with mistrust. Each person knew the idol had spoken, yet none knew which words to believe. Finally, Daniel broke the silence. "This is madness. It plays with our minds. We should destroy it before it destroys us." Arun shook his head. "And how will we do that? It is stronger than anything we have seen. What if our weapons cannot harm it? We may anger it further." Lena clutched her tablet to her chest. "I do not think it wants harm. It offers knowledge. It may be a guide. Perhaps the other species who found it before us misunderstood." Jory looked down at his hands. "Or perhaps they listened too closely. And that is why they are gone." The group fell silent again. The plaza seemed to echo with their fear. The idol stood at the center, glowing calmly, as if amused by their debate. Myra rose to her feet, her voice firm. "Listen to me. We are explorers. We do not run from fear, but we also do not give in to it. This idol wants something from us. I do not yet know what. But I do know one thing. Humanity is not a servant to forgotten relics. We will face it, and we will endure." Her words brought some steadiness back to the crew, though the unease remained. That night, Myra set guards in pairs to watch the camp. No one was to be left alone near the idol. She took the first watch herself, sitting at the edge of the firelight. The jungle sang around her, but she barely heard it. Her eyes stayed on the golden figure. She thought of the promises, the warnings, the cries. She thought of her crew and the weight of their trust. Then, as the fire flickered low, she felt the whisper again. Clearer this time, stronger. "Myra." The sound of her own name in her mind froze her in place. She felt the whisper like breath on her ear. "You will fail them. You will lose them one by one. But I can save you. I can save them all. Bow to me. Trust me." Myra's heart pounded, but she did not answer. She gripped her journal and wrote quickly, steadying her hand with force. The idol is not only speaking. It is choosing. It knows our names. It knows our fears. And it wants us to follow. The glow of the idol seemed to pulse brighter in the night, as though pleased with her fear. The fire cracked softly. The jungle hushed. Myra lifted her head, her eyes hard with defiance. She whispered into the silence. "You will not have us." But even as she spoke, she felt the whisper again, colder than before. "We shall see." The morning mist clung to the jungle like a soft curtain. Birds sang, but their melody was uneasy, as if they sensed something wrong. The crew woke with heavy hearts. Sleep had been shallow, and the idol's whispers had haunted their dreams again. Myra stood near the camp, looking at the golden figure in the plaza. The idol had not moved, yet its presence pressed on her chest like a silent weight. She called the crew together. "We must be careful today," she said. "The idol is affecting us more than we realize. We need to stay alert, stick together, and observe." The crew nodded, their faces pale but determined. Jory, still recovering from the previous night, walked close to Myra. He glanced at the idol, his eyes wide with both fear and curiosity. "I feel it watching," he whispered. "It is," Myra said. "And we must not let it control us." They moved toward the idol with instruments and sensors. Lena took careful measurements, while Arun adjusted scanners for energy fluctuations. Daniel and Hannah followed, keeping their eyes on the golden figure. For hours, nothing happened. The sun climbed higher, and the idol continued to glow softly. The crew began to feel a fragile sense of safety. Perhaps it was only the mind playing tricks. Perhaps the idol only observed, not harmed. Then it began. First, small things occurred. A sensor fell over, though no wind blew. A container of supplies slid across the stone without touching it. Daniel cursed under his breath as he picked it up. "Not good," he said. "These are too many accidents in one place." Then, Jory disappeared. Myra spun around, her heart racing. "Jory," she called. The plaza was silent except for the hum of the instruments and the soft glow of the idol. No reply came. Hannah ran toward the last place she saw him, shouting his name. Lena and Arun joined, scanning the trees and shadows. Then, from the edge of the plaza, Myra saw it. A faint glow on the ground, like Jory's shadow stretching unnaturally toward the idol. She ran, calling his name, fear breaking her calm. The glow faded, leaving only silence. Myra dropped to her knees where Jory had last stood. "Where is he?" she whispered. Lena's tablet beeped. Her readings spiked. The energy near the idol just surged, she said. Something moved toward it. The patterns match what happened with Jory. Daniel gritted his teeth. It took him. It is alive. It wants him. Myra's stomach twisted. She stood, her mind sharp despite panic. We cannot run. We cannot fight blindly. We need to understand how it does this. Arun swallowed. Or we lose more. This is not a trick anymore. It is feeding. Each disappearance makes it stronger. The crew gathered in the plaza, fear and determination mixed in their faces. Myra spoke firmly. We are not powerless. This idol is ancient, but we are human. We adapt. We survive. We will find Jory, and we will not let it take anyone else. They started searching the ruins more carefully. Every fallen pillar, every root-covered stone, every shadow was checked. The jungle seemed to watch them as much as the idol did. Hours passed with no sign. Then Lena noticed something carved faintly into the stone near the idol's base. She traced it with her fingers, revealing a pattern of symbols unlike the ones in the ruins. Look, she said. These markings form a circle around the idol. They are old, but they are active somehow. I think the idol uses them to pull things inside it. Whatever it took from Jory may be trapped here. Myra studied the circle. Then the idol is not just glowing. It is a portal, or a trap. We need to find a way to reverse it, to get Jory back. Daniel shook his head. We don't even know if that is possible. We are dealing with something beyond our experience. Each step could make it worse. Hannah knelt by the edge of the circle, her hands trembling. But we cannot leave him. He is one of us. If we do nothing, he is lost forever. Myra placed a hand on her shoulder. We will not leave him. But we must think carefully. Fear will not save anyone. Courage will. The team worked together, studying the circle. They tried using light and scanners, tapping on the stone, calling Jory's name, yet nothing happened. The idol's glow grew brighter each time they tried to interact. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A low hum filled the air, vibrating through the stone plaza. Lena's tablet screamed with spikes of energy. Step back. Myra shouted. The idol's glow intensified, radiating across the jungle. Shadows stretched and bent as if alive. Myra grabbed Daniel and pulled him away from the edge. Hannah and Arun followed. Then, with a soundless force, a figure emerged from the idol's golden light. It was Jory, but different. His movements were stiff, almost puppet-like. His eyes were empty, staring without recognition. Myra ran to him. Jory. It is me. Look at me. He blinked once, then remained still. His lips moved slightly, whispering the strange, alien words the idol had used before. Stop. Myra yelled, placing her hands on his shoulders. You are safe. You are human, not its prisoner. Jory froze, then fell into Myra's arms. Slowly, his eyes returned to their normal brown. He shivered but spoke. It wanted me. I could hear it. I could feel it calling me inside. I almost went willingly. Hannah hugged him tightly. You are safe now. You are back. Lena studied the markings again. It is a pattern. Each life strengthens the idol. Each mind it touches fuels it. That is why it took him so quickly. It waits, and then it chooses. Myra looked at the glowing figure. This is worse than we thought. It does not just watch or whisper. It feeds. And it will try again. Arun clenched his fists. Then we must be ready. No one goes near it alone. We need a plan. Myra nodded. She felt the weight of leadership heavier than ever. We cannot destroy it yet. We must understand it first. But we will not let it claim another life. Humanity will not be its prey. The idol glowed softly, as if listening. Its golden surface shone brighter with each heartbeat of the crew. And somewhere deep inside, a thought pressed on Myra's mind. The idol was patient. It would wait for the next opportunity. And humanity had to be ready. The jungle seemed quieter the next morning. Even the birds were still. The crew moved with caution, their eyes never leaving the golden idol in the plaza. The memory of Jory's disappearance hung over them like a shadow, but the young explorer's return reminded them of what they were fighting for. Myra called the team together. We cannot allow fear to control us. This idol is powerful, but it is not stronger than our will. Today, we act with purpose. We observe, we learn, and we prepare. Humanity does not bow to fear. Arun adjusted his gear. We should be ready for anything. The idol's reach is beyond what we imagined. It does not just take, it influences. It tests us. Lena studied her tablet carefully. We need to understand the pattern. Each time it acts, it feeds on attention, fear, or curiosity. If we can control our minds, we may resist its power. Daniel frowned. Control our minds? That is easier said than done. The last time I felt it near, I could barely think. Hannah placed a hand on his shoulder. Then we stick together. The idol cannot control us as a group if we support each other. Strength and unity has always been human strength. Myra nodded. Exactly. We act as one. No one goes near the idol alone. We observe from a safe distance, and we plan every step carefully. The crew spent the morning setting up a perimeter around the plaza. Sensors, cameras, and instruments formed a protective circle, giving them real-time readings. Lena checked the energy spikes, mapping the ways the idol reacted to their presence. Arun and Daniel arranged communication signals so no one would be isolated. Jory stayed close to Myra, quiet and thoughtful. He had been shaken by his experience, but Myra saw determination in his eyes. We will not let it win, she told him softly. As the day passed, the idol continued its calm, golden glow. It seemed to wait, watching their every movement. Myra could feel the pull of its presence, subtle and insistent, as if it were testing their resolve. Suddenly, a faint hum filled the air. Lena's tablet beeped violently. It is reacting, she shouted. Something is shifting inside it. The idol's glow brightened, and a ripple of energy moved across the plaza. Jory stiffened, whispering the alien words from before. Myra grabbed his arm firmly. Focus on me, Jory. Not it. The ripple passed, and the idol's light returned to normal, but the warning was clear. It was patient, but it would not wait forever. Myra gathered the crew. We have learned something today. The idol responds to thought and attention. If we remain calm, we resist its pull. If we panic, it grows stronger. We will train ourselves to control our minds. We will not be its prey. Hannah looked doubtful. How do we do that? My mind is filled with its whispers already. Myra knelt to meet her eyes. By remembering who we are. Humanity has survived harsh worlds, impossible storms, and challenges that seemed greater than our strength. We endure because we do not surrender. Tonight, we practice resisting its call. The crew spent the afternoon preparing exercises. They meditated, focused on breathing, and supported each other in holding thoughts steady. Lena used her tablet to monitor brain activity, showing how calm minds resisted the idol's influence more effectively. Arun led simple drills to keep everyone alert and coordinated. Night came, thick and quiet. The jungle's shadows stretched long across the plaza, but the idol glowed steadily. Myra stationed the crew in pairs, each watching the other for signs of influence. Hours passed with tense silence. Occasionally, the idol pulsed with light, as if aware of their vigilance. The whispers reached them, but this time, they were stronger than before. Each member of the crew heard promises, threats, and visions. The idol tried to pull them into fear, curiosity, or desire. Jory trembled slightly, hearing the words in his mind. Myra placed her hand on his shoulder. "Focus on us, not it," she whispered. Daniel's jaw tightened as he resisted visions of leaving the camp and running into the jungle. Hannah clutched his arm to remind him of her presence. Lena's tablet beeped with spikes of energy. "It is testing us. It wants to see if we break," she said. Myra stepped into the center of the plaza, facing the idol. "We will not break," she said aloud, her voice steady and clear. "We are humans. We endure. We resist." A pulse of golden light shot out from the idol, and for a moment, the air seemed to shimmer. The whispers were louder, but the crew did not flinch. Each person held their ground, eyes fixed on the glowing figure. Minutes stretched like hours. Then, slowly, the light of the idol dimmed, returning to its steady glow. The hum faded. The whispers grew faint. The crew exhaled, relief washing over them. They had resisted. For the first time, they realized that the idol's power, though immense, could be countered by human will. Myra gathered everyone together. "Today, we learned our greatest strength is ourselves. The idol cannot take what we refuse to give it. It can tempt, it can frighten, but it cannot control our minds if we remain united." Jory nodded, his voice firm. "I understand now. It tried to pull me because it thought I would give in. But we humans do not surrender. We face danger and hold together." Arun added, "This is our advantage. The idol may be ancient and powerful, but it does not understand determination like ours." Hannah smiled faintly. "It will try again, but we will be ready." Lena studied the tablet, noting patterns in the idol's energy. "It feeds on weakness. We just proved that strength of mind matters more than fear. The more we resist, the less it gains." Myra looked at the glowing figure in the center of the plaza. Its golden surface was still and calm, but she knew it watched, learning, waiting for the next challenge. She placed a hand on her journal and wrote the simple truth that would guide them: humanity survives because we do not bow. We endure because we refuse to surrender. No power can take what we protect in our hearts. The night passed without incident. The jungle seemed to sigh with the release of tension. The idol glowed softly, almost respectfully, as if acknowledging their resistance. Myra knew the battle was far from over. The idol was patient. It would continue to test, to tempt, to threaten. But now, the crew understood the principle: their strength was within themselves and in each other. As dawn approached, the golden light of the idol mingled with the first rays of the sun. Humanity had stood firm. The jungle around them remained mysterious, but the crew felt a renewed confidence. They had faced the first true test and had proven that human resolve could match the power of a being that had taken countless others. And with that knowledge, they prepared for the challenges still to come. The jungle was quiet as the crew prepared for what they knew would be the greatest test yet. The golden idol had grown restless. Its glow seemed sharper, brighter, as if it sensed the humans' confidence and wanted to challenge them fully. Myra gathered the crew in the early morning light. "We have resisted it so far. We have proven that human minds cannot be easily broken. But the idol will not give up. It will strike harder, faster, and more directly. Today, we face it fully. We must act together, with courage and unity." Arun checked the communication devices. "All systems are ready. If anyone is separated, we can signal immediately. But we stick together. Every step must be planned." Lena studied the energy readings one last time. The idol feeds on fear, distraction, and hesitation. If we keep our focus, we reduce its power. But if we falter, it will strike. Be ready for mental and physical challenges. Jory nodded, determination clear in his eyes. I will not let it take anyone else. I know how it tries to control the mind. We have to be careful, but we cannot stop now. Hannah tightened her pack straps. We have faced whispers, visions, and fear. We have survived. We can do this. Myra led the team into the plaza. The idol stood in the center, glowing like a silent sentinel. The golden surface shimmered, almost as if it were breathing. The air vibrated with energy, subtle at first, then stronger, pressing against the crew's senses. The idol's influence hit immediately. Each crew member felt visions in their mind. Arun saw images of the jungle swallowing him, Daniel saw the crew scattered and lost, Lena felt knowledge slipping away, and Jory relived the moments when he nearly disappeared. Hannah saw danger closing in from every direction. Myra felt her own fears, doubts, and the weight of responsibility for all her team. The idol's whispers were loud and insistent, promising safety if they obeyed, threatening ruin if they resisted. Hold your focus. Myra shouted. Remember who you are. Remember each other. Each member gritted their teeth, forcing the visions away. They clutched each other's hands or shoulders, grounding themselves in human connection. Slowly, the idol's pull lessened, though the effort left them trembling. The golden light pulsed faster, then expanded outward, filling the plaza with brilliance. The stone under their feet trembled, cracks forming at the edges. Trees bent as if caught in a windstorm. The idol had unleashed its full power. Lena's instruments beeped furiously. The energy is off the charts. It is trying to draw us into itself, like last time with Jory. Myra's voice cut through the chaos. We will not go. Focus on each other, not the idol. Daniel and Arun formed a protective circle around the group, standing firm while the ground shook. Hannah held Jory close, whispering words of courage to steady him. Myra noticed the patterns Lena had studied earlier, the carvings around the idol. The base is weak, she shouted. If we can strike there together, we can stop it from feeding. The team nodded, a silent agreement forming. They would act as one, precise and determined. They moved carefully toward the idol, each step measured. The golden figure's glow reacted instantly, pulsating violently, trying to push them back with invisible force. Lena analyzed the symbols quickly. Strike the circle at these points, she said. The lines converge at the base. That is where its energy flows strongest. If we can disrupt it, we weaken the idol. Myra signaled the team. Daniel and Arun placed charges at the marked points while Myra, Lena, Hannah, and Jory watched for any signs of mental attack. The idol pulsed, its light flaring brighter than ever. Each crew member felt visions again, this time sharper and faster. Fear, doubt, and desire all pulled at their minds. Jory almost fell to his knees, but Hannah's hand held him upright. Myra forced herself to stand, calling the names of her crew over and over to anchor her mind. Now! Myra shouted. Daniel detonated the charges. A shock wave erupted, shaking the plaza violently. Stones cracked and splintered. The idol's glow fractured, golden shards of light scattering across the plaza. The team braced against the force, hearts pounding. The golden light fought back, swirling around them in a dazzling display. The whispers screamed in their minds, louder and angrier than ever. But the humans held firm. They clutched each other, grounding themselves in their unity. The idol's energy weakened gradually, the pulse slowing, the glow dimming. Then, with one final flicker, the golden light shattered into fragments. The idol toppled, its surface cracking and falling to the stone plaza. The golden glow faded, leaving only dull metal. Silence fell. The jungle held its breath. The crew stood in the midst of broken stone and golden shards, trembling but alive. Jory collapsed into Hannah's arms, breathing hard. It, it is gone, he whispered. Myra looked at the remains of the idol. Not gone, just weakened. But we have shown that human strength, will, and unity can resist even the most ancient power. Lena studied the fragments. The energy is dissipating. The circle is broken. Whatever it fed on is gone. The idol cannot take another life. Arun let out a long breath. We did it. We survived. Daniel wiped sweat from his brow. We stood against something that destroyed entire species before us. And we won because we did not give in. Hannah held Jory tightly. It cannot touch us now. We protected each other. Myra took a moment, looking at each of her crew. Remember this moment. This is what makes humans strong. We endure, we adapt, and we never surrender. Today, we faced a power beyond anything in the galaxy, and we prevailed. That is our strength. The jungle seemed to sigh around them, releasing tension. Birds returned, singing cautious but clear. The wind rustled leaves gently, washing over the plaza with a sense of calm. Myra wrote in her journal, the golden light of dawn catching the pages. We faced the idol. We resisted its whispers, its pull, its power. We acted as humans united, strong, and fearless. The idol cannot break what is held by trust, courage, and will. Humanity survives. The crew stood together, hands clasped, eyes steady on the fallen idol. They had faced fear, temptation, and the unknown. And they had won. Though the jungle remained mysterious and the planet still held secrets, the humans had proven one undeniable truth. No power, no matter how ancient or strange, could overcome the strength of those who refused to surrender. And the golden idol lay silent, its brilliance shattered, unable to rise against the resolve of human courage. The sun rose slowly over the jungle, casting golden light across the plaza. The golden idol lay broken in pieces, its glow gone forever. The air was calm, almost peaceful, as if the planet itself acknowledged the end of the struggle. Myra led the crew through the plaza, stepping carefully over fragments of the fallen idol. The jungle had returned to normal, the wind rustling leaves gently and birds singing from hidden branches. Despite the calm, each step reminded them of the battles they had faced. Jory walked beside Hannah, his hands still trembling slightly. He had survived the idol's influence, but the memory of nearly being taken lingered. I cannot believe we made it, he said softly. It wanted to pull me inside, to make me vanish forever. Hannah squeezed his arm. You did not let it? We all helped each other. That is why we are still here. Daniel looked around the plaza. I never thought we could face something like that. A relic that destroyed entire species, and we stood against it? We actually won. Arun nodded. It was not just strength. It was courage, unity, and trust. We acted as one, and that made the difference. Lena, studying the broken idol fragments, spoke carefully. The energy has dissipated. The circle is broken. Whatever ancient power that idol held is gone. The jungle is safe again. We have changed nothing but ourselves. That is what makes this victory human. Myra stopped in the center of the plaza. She looked at her crew and then at the shattered golden idol. This planet is full of mysteries. Ancient civilizations, powers beyond our understanding, and dangers that would terrify anyone. But we faced them, and we endured. That is humanity's true strength. The crew moved to set up their instruments for one last scan of the plaza. They needed to record the event, to understand what had happened. Lena worked carefully, her tablet capturing every detail of the shattered idol and the surrounding stones. The patterns of energy are fading, she said. We can see how it functioned, but it will not rise again. The danger is gone. Jory knelt beside a piece of the idol, touching the golden shard with his fingers. It is beautiful and terrifying at the same time. I never imagined something like this existed. Myra rested a hand on his shoulder. Beauty does not always mean safety. Sometimes, beauty hides danger. That is why we must remain careful and wise. But we have proven that courage and unity can overcome even the greatest danger. Hannah helped Jory to his feet. We survived because we stayed together. We supported each other when the idol tried to pull us apart. Daniel looked around the plaza once more. We have learned something more than surviving an idol. We have learned our own strength. Our ability to face fear and still move forward. That is the real discovery. Arun adjusted the sensors one last time. We have enough data. The idol cannot harm anyone else now, but we will carry the lessons we learned. That knowledge is more valuable than gold or technology. Myra smiled faintly. Knowledge, courage, and unity. These are the tools of humanity. No relic, no power, no challenge can break that if we hold it close. The crew spent the rest of the day preparing to leave. They packed instruments, collected samples of the ruins, and documented every detail of the plaza and the shattered idol. The jungle seemed to watch them, alive but calm. The sun climbed higher, warming the stones and trees. Before they left the plaza, Myra took one last look at the golden shards. You were powerful, she said softly, but we were stronger together. We will remember you, not as a master, but as a test we overcame. Jory nodded. I will never forget this place. It changed me. It made me stronger, and it showed me what we can do when we trust each other. Hannah smiled. We all changed. But we survived. That is what matters. As they reached the edge of the jungle, the landing site of the Aurora came into view. The starship gleamed in the sunlight, ready to carry them back to the stars. Each crew member paused, taking one last breath of the planet's fresh air. The jungle, the ruins, and the idol would remain behind, silent witnesses to their victory. Myra addressed the crew one last time before boarding. Remember this feeling. Remember our unity, our courage, and our determination. These are not just tools for survival. They are the essence of humanity. Wherever we go, whatever dangers we face, we carry that strength with us. The crew boarded the Aurora, the doors closing behind them. The engines hummed as the ship lifted off, leaving the planet below. The golden idol was reduced to fragments, the plaza silent, the jungle alive and free once more. As the starship rose into orbit, Myra stood at the viewing deck. She watched the jungle stretch beneath them, thinking of the ancient civilization that had left the idol behind. They had vanished, but humanity had survived where others had failed. Jory came to stand beside her. Do you think there are more of these idols out there? He asked quietly. Myra shook her head slowly. Perhaps. But we are ready. Humanity will face the unknown, and we will endure. We do not bow to fear or power. We survive, and we learn. Hannah joined them, smiling faintly. We faced something that could have destroyed us. And we came together. That is what makes humans different. Daniel leaned against the railing. Other species may have fallen to it, but not us. Our minds, our courage, our will, that is our advantage. That is why we are alive now. Lena added quietly, and now, we carry the knowledge of what we faced. The idol will not rise again, and we will be stronger for it. Myra took a deep breath. The jungle is behind us. The idol is gone. But the lesson remains. Humanity is not just strong physically. Our true power is in our minds, our hearts, and our unity. Wherever we go, that power will carry us forward. The Aurora left the planet behind, entering the vastness of space. Stars stretched infinitely around them, and the crew looked out at the universe with awe. They had faced fear, power, and temptation, and they had survived. Myra wrote in her journal one final time. We faced the golden idol and endured. We resisted its power, protected each other, and proved that humanity's greatest strength lies not in tools or weapons, but in courage, unity, and will. We carry this strength forward into the unknown, ready for whatever comes next. The crew stood together, united, gazing at the stars. The golden idol was left behind, its power broken, its danger gone. Humanity had won. And as the starship sailed onward, the crew knew one truth above all else: no matter the challenge, humans endure.